What is 1? 1 does not exist without blanco. Blanco, nothing, nada, de nada. The position in 1 is the top left. The reason it is the top left when you are looking at it, okay, over here, is because we know that the angle is from the top left over to the bottom right. I'm going to explain it why. From me to you, the camera vision. Once we do that, we automatically slice 1 between the middle, between 1 on the other side. We've got 1 above, 1 below, but 1 on the left and 1 on the right. We've got 2 different ones, showing you the separation of 3. 1 does not show up. Either it's 2 or blanco. Nothing. 4 equals nothing. Because there isn't anything over here. It's 1 and it's 4 equaling to 5. Do you see this 5 over here? You don't see it. But when this invisible 5 turns around and goes right into here, there's 1 already here, there's 1 already here, there's 1 already here, there's 1 already here, and 5. All we're missing is the 1 in the middle. And I turn it around, boom, number 5. Sits right over here. There's a north-south 5, right, in between? 4 corners. Doesn't matter which way I turn this with the 1 in between, she shows up 5. Blanco and 4. This is 42. This is blanco 3. See? 3, blank 3, 3. There's nothing 3, 3, 0, 3, 3. We want to have 5. Here's 5. Where's A? A passes in between. It is the passage of the light. The 7th gate. 1 comes in between to the 4 corners, east and west. What these in-betweens mean, when you have an in-between these 2 over here, okay, it's a passage. It's going all the way up, all the way down, and all the way up. Because anything in between is actually livid from the center. This is the half of the above and below. This is half below. If I turn it on this angle, this becomes way polar to this polar. This becomes the 45 polar to this polar. And this one is completely across. We now have 1, 12, and 6, or 1 and 2 is 3. Is it Tesla? 3 and 6. If it was the 24-hour clock, it would be 6 and 3. East and west, if it was the 12-hour clock, it would be 3 and 9. And if it was the 24 clock, it would be 6 and 18. 1 and 8 is 9. All 3, 6 and 9. One way of the cube, 45-degree angle. The angle of plus. The greatest diameter shows up over here. We still have to understand, this is 4 plus 1. This is 40. This is 20. Missing here and missing here. This is 20. Would you say this is 30 or 300? Because it's missing to 2 sides. Do you understand? Now it's above and below. Now it's all in the center. I'm missing the 4 and 6 side. Because of this corner over here, I'm missing the 4 and 6 side. If I turn it this way, okay, I'm still missing the 4 and 6 side. Now I have the 4 and 6 side. 1 time that it is, 1 time that it isn't, 2 times that it isn't, 3 times that it isn't, boom. 1 yes, 1 yes, 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 4. 2 out of 4 times something can happen. So I'm just bringing, this is what I want to show you. How many pieces do we need? If I take this card and I slice it, okay, and I slice it just like that, okay, look, it's perfect. 2 perfect pieces. So this corner owns these 2 corners. This corner owns these two corners. Now these two corners will now have to come together or seize together. So if we seize these together, we need something in between that'll match the DNA from there and the DNA to here, unless we're sewing them in a baseball. I think it went that way, the card, right? Unless we have decided to actually draw it up and cut this piece out of the center, having only that these 2 points are always together. This is the Aleph letter, the way the Aleph is. The Aleph has a right corner open and a bottom left leg. This is the letter N, the letter Z. It can be also used for H, the bar. It can also be for the 2P or the dreidel. Do you understand the building over here? 1, 2, 3 floors. Which way do we run the 3 floors? Understanding how we create small blocks. Remember, cutting the center out of anything that is perfect will always be flat. You will always be able to put anything in the middle that is flat, just like the other side. The center to all pool balls usually have white. So the cue ball is represented in all the balls. This is your Aleph. This is the N letter. We go up, comes down this side and this side. This is connected to these two sides. So if this spins, it spins between the top and the bottom. Don't forget, one is the sky and it hangs from the sky, or one is the ground and it is above the ground. So therefore I must separate the earth this way. The other thing I wanted to mention, the reason for this size compared to this size is that the green is on, you notice the green is on this side and it's intertwined because they overlap. When you count 1, 2, 3, 4, there's not 4. This one goes actually 1, 2, 3. This one goes actually 1, 2, 3. There's I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm going to show me because I'm the only one here watching, right? There's 1 square here, 2, 3, 4 squares, right? So that means this one would be the 3rd square over here. There's a square here that ends here. Half this square is gone. The only reason I didn't put that square inside of it, it belongs to the lower square over here. I showed a void only for the separation, but this piece here goes over here, so there's 2 here, there's 2 here, and there's 2 here. All in this point, it's all even. This is the area of space this one in the middle takes. So this is your top left, this is your middle, this is your bottom right. Now if you turn this over a little bit, you can actually see a banister showing up. So I overlap it. So this one would be 1 and 2 of its own, then the 3, and then it'll arrive over here as 4. And this will be 1 and 2 of its own, and then arrive over here and 2 and 2 of its own. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each piece is containing 4, 4, and 4. Now, if that was true, what I said, right, and this was this piece, then what happened to this corner over here? The minute this piece here gets here and goes up 1 more row, this corner over here will stick out all the way to here. So it's impossible, unless I cut it, that it can go past this range. The minute you overlap something, you must cut off the corner. Okay, so anyways, this would become, if it was that way, or if it was bent up like a square, we'd get 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd get 4 and 4, we'd have 8. We'd have 8, and how many do we actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4. See, no, I did that all wrong. How many minutes in the tape? 8:48. Okay, I'm not starting again. There's a total of 4. When I go up 1 here, this is at a half. This is 2.5. It's 2.5 and 2.5. There's 1 whole 1 over here. The other whole 1 finishes in here. That's 2. That's good. The other one is only half and then finishes in here. So this would become 2.5 and 2.5. This angle actually equals to 5. I've never done this before, but I actually see it. 4 is now equal to 5. 1.25 times 4. Did you understand? To overlap, when I overlap, I show that I'm no longer here. I overlap to here. Each square, 1, 2, 3, 4 going down, 1, 2, 3, 4 going up. When I bring this color to this color, there's a square over here. There's a square over here that goes inside this orange, and there's a square here that goes in this green. But there's a point left over of this green. It's cut off in the middle, and it goes into here. So automatically this says 1, this whole 1 that goes into here, 2, and this half in here and half in here says 2.5. It's 2.5 and 2.5 in order to do that. In order to overlap this, I need 2.5 and 2.5. I've never done that before. That's 5. I get 5 out of 4. 5 out of 4 and 5 out of 4. It's a number to the sun. Anyways, do you want to know anything about 0? I'm going to tell you something about 0. We got above the ball and we got below the ball. Oh, hold on a second. Let me mention to you something about 369. Something about 369. In number 3, right, we start off on this angle over here, right over here, and we show you one floor on the top left and one on the bottom right, and then in the center. That's showing you your 3. Right away, you know your top 2 rows between your top and the middle is 3 and 3 because it's here to the center is 2, and then if you go back up, it's 3, and then 1 in between, and 1 below. There's automatically 6. 1 row gives you 3, 2 rows give you 6, 3 rows give you 9. If you take out 3 in the center here, and then 2 and 1 here and 2 and 1 there, it'd be 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and a bar of 3. So the creation of this bar 3 is from 1 and 2 in this corner and 1 and 2 in this corner. This corner is number 3 because 1 does not exist until it approaches. See this thing? There's no 1. 1 can only exist in 5, and 1 can only exist in 3. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And in order to get 9, you have to create. You have to build, and I don't have the building blocks on me right now, but what it means is you have to take this and put another one here and another one here. You have to put 9 of them, but you don't need all the 9s because the other ones are 2, 4, 6, and 8. The in-between, the one here, the one here, the one here. All we need is the back, top right corner, the back, bottom right corner. You just need the star system to be set up. It's a real star system. I see it. I can't explain it. Let's just take 0. Let's take nothing. Let's take nothing. There's 4 sides. 4 by 9 is 360. There is no more. Can you say 4 by what? Is 12 a number? You see, we go to 13. So is 12 a number? Bringing 2 numbers together? It could be because, seriously, 1 cannot be without 2. And in the game of the 7th gate, okay, and 3 and 7 equals to 10. 10 is the connecting of 1 star, a polar. One times 2, 1 plus 2 is 5. 5 creates the sun. But 3 in the 7th gate does not begin until you get 4 up to 10. And 6 and 6 and 6 and 5, okay, 6 and 5, and 1 and 2 is 7 and 7. 2 and 1 does not begin. 5 and 1 is okay. When you get 5 and 1, you're good. When you get 4 and 3, you're out of the game. 5 and 1, you're good. 4 and 3, you're out of the game. You got to see the game of craps and how they play the game. And I'll sit there all day long and go over and over and over until part of life comes out in the numbers thrown on the table with the odds and the amount of chips you get back too. 4. If number 1 was coming through this, it's not number 1, hey, I'm number 1. Who's 1, who's 0? He's 1. Right? 1 goes through the hoop. Here's the hoop, 360 degrees. That's 4 with a hole in the center. It's nothing at all. But I had to go in if I wanted to go. Where'd you go? The other side. Through the tunnel. The whole tunnel. First he jumped through the hoop, and he went through the tunnel, a snake, over to another world in a molecule. How did he get there? I don't know. The internet, perhaps? Are you watching this video? You're watching the video. How'd I get there? How'd I get there? How do you see me? I got there. You think they only did it? You don't think your mind, before it even entered into your body, they entered into this body because they came from somewhere else? God forbid the Holy Bible should be wrong once. It's never wrong. It's just misunderstood. This, let's put it on here. Pretend. No, let's do this. This is a ball. This is nothing, okay? This is 0. It's a circle. It's nothing. So when I go to the outside of this ball and I see this ball. I know the top is 1, the bottom is 9. In between is where 5 hangs out. 5 hangs out across from 4 and 6, the even plane of the ball, 4, 5, and 6. But I'm talking about the outside of the ball. Top center to the bottom center, to the right center, to the left center, to the front center, to the back center. That ball now has 6 sides. 6 perfect sides at 10 equaling to 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 2, 4, 6. But up and down. Up and down. 6, up, up, 6, down 6. In the back side and the front side. In the middle of the front side? On which side of the front side? Because there's 3. Which side of the back side? There's 3. Was it the high side of the back side? There's 3, or the low side? Was it the high side of the front side or the low side? It was this side or this side? There were 3. It was this side or this side? There were 3. That's 6. 6 and 6 is 12. On this side also, and this side that's at 24. Up and down, that's 36. You can only have 24 and 12. Simple answer is directly in the cube. There are 3 corners. There's 1 corner with 3 colors. There's 4, that's 12. There's this one, which is 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 and 12. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6, the letter Z, equals 8 and 20. H, A, B, the HAB. A and B. Once you have A and B, to get to the 7th gate, you need number 5 and 6, equaling to 6 and 1 and 5 and 2. Now, 1 doesn't exist until 5 exists, because 1 exists inside 4. Because 1 shows you this is 44. This is 4 with the 1, and this is the 4 empty spaces with the 1 again. 4 and 1, 4 and 1. No, we are going to read this a little different this time. You see this mark over here? This is the ridge. This is the ridge. Right over here, the ridge that's in between. Take out those 3 in the middle. You have 1 and 2 empty spaces, and 1 and 2 empty spaces. Now draw this. Okay? This is going to show you 3 claw prints for the raptors inside of this. This is 4 empty spaces. You see the empty spaces that go C and C around the black dot? Why don't we turn everything black? I mean, everything black on the outside and white on the inside. Here's number 4, right? But on this side, it's 3. So we're connecting the center bar. Is this the 4? This is representing the 4 zeros. Where do these 4 zeros show up? Right over here. 1 will now equal to the same representation as 4 inside of 5. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because this is 0. There's 4 corners with nothing. The 1, 9 corner is not there. There's no star. There is 40 missing. There's only a 5 value on this. Number 1 has a center 5 value. But number 1 brings with it all the corners, because it's where all the corners come together. The 1 in the center equals to now 20. All the corners are 20 plus the center equals 5 equals 25. 25 equals the B letter. 2 and 5 equals the Y letter. You follow what I'm saying? 20 plus 5. 20 equals the T letter, but it's 2. 0, 0 equals 6. We will now have T go all the way to Z and add them up. 21 all the way to 26. And numbers 1 to 15 added up in the game of pool, where there are 2 sides of 7 and 7 balls plus 1 and 1, black and white. So if this was 20 in its own, then what value is this? That's also a 20, but that's 20 with 0 inside. You see this? 20, 1, 2, 3, 4 open spaces, 20 and 20, 20, 20. The 2, 4, 6, 8 empty spaces. See the 24? In order to make it, we turn the dice this way. There's 20 this way and there's 20 this way. Yes, I can change it any way I want, because I remember from a recent video. See, these are the halfway points between the 2 levels. Halfway point. If you put a star in the center, really what will it do? It brings this and this down to the center level. This and this up towards the center level. We don't need the space in between over here. We're bringing it to this level over here. We don't need it in the other world. We need it in level 2. So we bring them both down to level 2, and we meet over here in the feed room, the laboratories. Number 6, the value of number 6 this way is missing the line of 4, 5, and 6. The total of this dice over here equals to 30. 30, and we're missing 15 in the center. This is 30 and 15. One is on the other side if we're playing tennis. This one over here we did. We can do it this way also, but this way is a little bit different for me. See the top one over here? There's how many levels? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 levels down here. So this one up here was number 8, and the second level would be 11, then the third level would be 14, and this level over here would be 17. This one equals 8. The top one is 2, the bottom one is 8. This is the angle. If this is right, what I just said, and I just noticed that means that's the angle of your calculator of 2, 4, 6, and 8. This has to be the angle of the numbers in the calculator. If that cube brings in the fourth dimension, it doesn't bring in 4 like this. It goes 1, 2, 3. But when I turn the cube this way, it has the top row. Let me show you the top row. There's the top row, okay? I'm going to show the top row. We have the top row. Then we have row number 2. Then we have row number 3. Row number 4. So if we're starting, okay, if we're starting 2, 5, 8, 11, 14. The fourth row, 2, 5, 8, 11. Fourth row, 2, 5, 8, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 5, 8, 2 again. 8, 11 is 19. We begin on 19. This across from this, adding up the center equals to this on this level over here. 9, 10, 11, 12, J, K, L. And on the telephone, it's found on the 5 key. So that's just perfect. 5 plays inside 8 and 11. 8 and 2. Time heaven. 7 by 4, 28. 7 and 4, 11, 39. What is 3, 6, and 9? 3 times 15 minutes equals 45. 8 times a day. 6 times 10 minutes. Oh, I'm going on and on, right? No, I didn't want to do the 3, 6, 9 level that way. I just wanted to show you on this. The right side, the left side, the front side. That's all you need. That's your 3. In the face of Rubik's Cube, there's 9. On 2 rows, there's 6. On 2 rows over here, there's 6. And the totality, there's 9. On the face of every single cube is 9. There's 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. But in the 9, you can only use 6 out of the 9 plus the 1 light. You can also turn it. Instead of using this 6, you can use this 6. So that means you can only use 7. But you can only use 7 on 2 sides. Only 2 sides have 7. Why? Because one gets a 1, one gets a 6. When this happens, every other side is only 5. The opposite of 4 is 3, and they are the duplication within each other. So now let's look at it this way. Let's go over this, okay? Every side is, there's only 2 sides of 7. You have 7 here. 1 and 6 are here and here. This is 7 and 7, and this is 5, 5, 5, 5. 57, 75. If this is 1 here and this here, this is the only multiple of 7. So if this is the only multiple, true multiple of 7 of the 9 cubes, that is 63. That is 63. The other ones, you're only allowed to multiply by 5. 7 and 5. 7 and 5 is 12. 7 minus 5 is 2. 5 is like half. Half of 7 is 3.5. Half of 5 is 2.5. Half of 2 is 1. So this is what we do. There's 4 sides of 5, so it's 45. 5 by 9 is 45, but you're only allowed to count 7. Here we have 9. We're allowed to multiply it by 7 equals 63. We're only allowed to use 7 maximum of the 9. 7 by 9 is 63. 7 maximum. Okay, now you can only use 5 of the 9. 5 by 9 is 45. 45 and 45 and 45 is 180. And 63 and 63 is 126. 180, 280, 300. And what is that figure? Hold on a second. 126 and 4 times 45 is 180 equals to 306. The number is 306, right? But guess what? 180 can be, this is only my multiplication. I'm not adding any zeros, only to the total. Look, 306 equals 366. This is November 1st, 111. Do you know what 111 is? The top story of the Twin Towers after the 110th floor is the 111th one on the roof. 111 and 666 is the 7th gate, 7th gate, 7th gate. 61, 61, 61, the light. 126. 306, 0 equals 6, 366. 636. All about Tesla, right? All his numbers. If I had 180 over here, add 6, this would be 312. ABC reversed. 312 plus a 60 could be 372. 216 multiplied by 3, 272. 3 by 72. So we did this. I showed you even in the cards. They show you the same thing in the cards, right? If I cut, see the cards? This, how many sides? If you want to know how many homes there are, even though there's 3, there's only 2 owners. This one owns this part, that one owns that part, 2 owners. If you want to go to the 7 card, where does the 7 card exist? I'm not really sure which one I want to put it with yet, right? But it's all pairs. Jack, Queen, King. 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. The 10 is 5 and 5. The 10 is 5 and 5. The ace and 9, you see ace becomes 11, right? Which makes 9 equal to 2 10s. So ace and 9 are now eliminated. They play different in blackjack because they equal 20, 2 10s. Ace and 9 will now equal to 2 10s. So you see how complicated 0 is, right? We have to understand how to use these things. You know what I'm saying? If it was a fan, you see this? The Budweiser bow tie, the fan mill, the different dimensions, what we take up within each one. We have to expand until we get to here and here, because your head goes in part over here. There's always a piece that goes in. This piece will be your head. So I need to expand to here and to here. 50 would be your head, because it's only half your head, because it's only half your mind. It's only what you use down here that gives you 100% of this, but it's not half of you at all. Leaning over to one side, which pieces are these? The swastika rules inside of this. Here's the swastika, right? 1, 2, 98. See, when you take out 21, it comes with 98. When you take out 21, it comes with 56. This over here and this one over here. Okay? This 7 backwards over here, this is 1 and 2. This is 5. 1, 2, 5 memory. We connected to the 6. Not because I want to, because the dice told me to. I'm staying on here a long time. I buffle, I babble, say the wrong thing many times. But if I don't come on here to do this, then who am I going to talk to but myself? Or somebody is going to be that memory that I need that's going to wake me up, that's going to remake me wake you up, and somebody else is going to come here that's going to put something together that one of us said. And I know that what I am doing, I really highly believe that this is true, that this is a 1 and this is a 6. I don't see the 1 on this side and I don't see the 6 on this side. I do see something on this side. I see Raish. I just found Raish. Number 18 is right here. Look, 8 around, that's empty. 1 is in the center. He gets the 10 spot. Him to 2 sides. He's always him to 2 sides. He's not to one side. He always takes 2 sides. He's the in-between man to the polars. Oh my God, so what's this? This would be 63. This would be 45. Is this 45? Or is this 45? Or is it the same thing? So if this is 45, this would be 27. Right? This would be 27 because there's 7 of them that are not here. But if there's 2 that we always do not use, if there are 2 that we do not always use, would this be 27 or would we either have to not count these two or not count these two. This would be 25. Irregardless, okay, 5 and 2 is 7, equals to the letter B and E, equals to the beginning of everything, the top and the bottom, the greatest distance, okay. The polar of 1 is, okay, anyways, I'm not going to talk about that. So this is, so this, where is it? But this one is different. This one is, if you flip it around, there is one that lights up these two. So this center of here, okay, will reflect this one. This center over here will be 5, 5, 5. But inside the value to left and right 1, VW, because you're picking up 3, 2 ends, and then you pick up 3 because you work it off the 1. This 1 is the 5 passage. It's a hole. It's a passage. Look, it goes right through. 1 goes right through this. The light goes through and it comes out. It's the 1 passage to all. So if it's the 1 passage, and these are not lighting up, 5, 5, 5. 5 in the center, the 5 on the outside, the 5 here. So this 5 gets 15 altogether. It lights up 5, 5, 5 over here. It lights up 5, 5, 5 over here through the 1 over here. It does not need to lose any energy through its field because there's no energy lost in the bringing. The energy coming in and exerted is not lost, but given. Do you follow what I'm saying? The energy that comes in the spirit. The communication comes in with the energy, and the light comes within you. It's your body takes within the light its energy, and it continues its process. So that's why if we have 7 pieces, not everything is going to lose the energy. Yeah, Bob. You know who Bob is? You know why Bob? Because it's 2, 4, 6, and 8. But forget about 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay? It's 2 and it's 1. Something is either inside of a circle. The polar of 1 is 2. The complete polar of 1 in the 5 hole. It's in the 5 hole. If it's in the 5 hole, it's giving out 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, empty space of energy. This one, turn on this angle. This one here will take 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it will play for all of them. This is 2, this is 2, this is 2, this is 2. 2 and 2 is 4. The one in the center gets the value of 5 because it's the center on your phone. It says 5. 522, 522, 522, 522. But it counts as the 1 dot. So what I do in these areas over here, in all the empty spots, I put a 0 because there's no number there. And everywhere else I put a 2. But instead of putting a 2, I put the letter B, A, B, second letter, 0 because it passes within. It all passes within this. So every time I put a 0 and a B, it all says Bob, 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 Bab, Bob, Bab, Bob, Babble, 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 Bob. Anyways, I said too much, did too much, and I didn't get through with what I really wanted to do, but it's the end of the video. Thank you very much, Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. That's what happens when I fall behind. Thank you for watching. We did get that thing done with 0, right? 0, even if 0 is just a hole. The top is 0, the bottom is 0, the right is 0, the left is 0. What's the size of 0? What's the size of nothing? Thank you for living. 0 is the spot you live in. Is it the square you live in? Or is it the circle? Right? If you had to spin your house around, right? You don't want anybody by your windows, right? Thank you for watching.